team here for the Portuguese Grand Prix here at the circuit of the Maldito, as Maldi would like to call it. And I had a bit of technical issues of my own before. Well, I made the lobby up, but I was the host. I set off, and as I was trying to pick. Right, let's try that again. That's two issues now I've had in this game. Now that is absolutely brilliant. I love this game. I love this Xbox. I always have issues for some reason. I should have already done the intro already. I had a bit of issue. I've had even more issues on my end now. I was trying to be. I was reset off, and then I went to start the stream up, and obviously for some reason, Xbox is really glitchy when it comes to when they're trying to press the Xbox button. And it just press it about 5 times and nothing happens. Game just goes quiet, and you just get nothing. And suddenly you get like a spam of like Xbox glitches and stuff like that when you're trying to bring the menus up. So, and then I actually clicked on a different game when I'm trying to upload. When I bring up Twitch, and obviously I exit the game, and obviously now I'm no longer the host. And Maldi should be the host now, so hopefully everything should be alright. And then as I boosted the stream up again, it turns out it suddenly took me out of a party, which I was in by myself, so I then had to make a new one, which is how I just did. So this has been a brilliant start, very entertaining on my end. Not sure about on the streaming end. So all those issues were, and STB Maldi, after all this hype, he's already lost his front wing around the circuit of Portugal at Algarve, and he's already lost his front wing. And he hasn't even. I think he was on his fast lap, and he's already messed up already. So that's all Maldi's running gone down the drain, as it always does. He's done at least 5 50% races already of practice around here, and he can't even do that. He can't even do a one qualifying lap. Love it. So yeah, I'm a bit sketchy for that start. It was a very not a good start by my end for this week, for tier 3 commentary. A lot of mistakes on my end and that. Martin's got in Lucas's way. Might put him off his next couple of corners. Oh, that corner can be very, very difficult. And yeah, so a good start. I mean, he's already done a 17.6, which is actually a very decent lap for a banker lap. I'm Peter Lucas got away with that, because I did that yesterday and got validated. So how he's done that and got away with it, I don't know. I think there's quite a lot more pad drivers in tier 3 than I think in tier 2. And obviously I think you might see some more. These longer corners can always do a test for the pad sometimes, especially if you're a bit less smooth on the inputs. But I'm sure everyone, all these pad drivers all know how to get themselves around these sort of circuits and just at that time. Level's gone wide, and he's got away with them. What is going on? How are they getting away with all these tracker sends? How Devil's still using their ABS. Really ask him to turn it on. I was going to do that last week. He locks up into every single corner possible. I'll look up in here as well. Yeah, he locks up there into there. Great. Maldi's back out on a new front wing. I hope he didn't break any rear wing damage or side pod damage or anything like that. There's no one really on the lap right now. My stall's on the lap. I'm not going to put anything too special from him. That's not the right line taken there. He had about 5 car lengths of right of space. Just that apex there. He's missed that apex as well. And he's not even gone to the outside of the circuit. Now he has. When he hit this apex, he does. And he's going to strip it around very difficult corners, which I struggle with a lot. And he's taking it better than I normally do. So, yeah. He's not even got. He's run out of ERS. How was it already low on ERS? I don't know. Must have had the ERS on from the lap before he came up pit. Yeah. Crash, I believe, is on another lap on his mediums, looks like it. Oh, yeah, Kirby's so unforgiving. I spun there myself yesterday in a race which possibly could have cost me at least a podium, if not a win. And it's just very difficult. There's so many corners around here, they can make you spin as the track drops and swoops around. Like a roller coaster, there you go. There's definitely a few corners here that can definitely catch you off guard, and Fresh needs a lot of inside curb there, probably not the better line for that, and he's got. That was a very, very unnecessary practice, and he could have so easily made that without any issues, and yet he still managed to go wide. He kept opening the steering up too much. On board with Buffalo, I'm not sure how purple that purple sector is, but you know, the game's like a bit of understeer there. And a bit of oversteer there. Manspin. 17.6, I'll say 16.7 then. The flow goes a bit too hot into that corner, he's gone wide, and he's got away with it, and he's backed out, even though he's purple again. But then again, like I said, I don't sure what the game's like with their purple sectors, it can be a bit messed up. And Maldi is back in the pits again. It's now halfway through the session, and we still don't have a lap from SC Maldi. And he's probably done it's done at least 6 hours of practice around here in the last 5-6 days. So I'm expecting a bit more from him already, and I just realised these guys have done laps on mediums, which is a bit surprising. But he's actually pretty decent laps on a set of mediums, so we might be seeing some 16s if they can click in. That really is, yeah, his best tyres. So some really good laps actually happening right now. We've still got a few laps to actually happen here. Still got Gutto to do a lap yet, Maldi to do a lap yet. Both Pirel's back out again. Boulange 17.2 on a set of softs, decent lap by the Mercedes driver. On board with Artem. I think he's just done his lap, I think. Yeah, because ERS is down, so he's got another ERS, so your lap. Hybrid is invalidated. Pirello. That's a very tight line to turn 1. Yep, and that was never going to happen. That was never going to work. Turned in way too early. I can tell he's not done any practice. Just he turned in and then nothing's happened. Should he get disqualified? He's not yet. He's turning too early, and if you turn in too early, you hit that sausage curb on the inside of the turn 1, and it's pretty much an instant spin. And that's just in intermediate conditions, so you can get away with it. What I experienced last time. KTM Viper on that. There's a lot of ERS, but then you go to the last straight. Stay there. Got the corner somewhat nicely. Blind right hand corner, always difficult to take. It's even harder when you're not using your line, because you just don't know when to turn in, when to brake, unless you just down some efforts points. But really, see that corner, the racing line just helps you be consistent around there, and that's you don't want to keep tight around that corner. You want to keep it wide, not too wide, but wide enough so you can get on the power earlier. Takes across the line, and it's 69. We're into the 16s. Just regardless of that kind of funny line on the last second last corner. 69. Okay, that's already I think we're already into probably. I think we're already in the top 8 in tier 2 lap time, that is, because I did a 17.2, which was not a great lap, and it wasn't fully the best lap, but I was 8th place for the 17.2. So you can see where I'm coming from. If we got people already into the top 10s lap times of tier 2, so So we've got some really good laps going on now. As not Boulange, Lucas is still 17.2, and that's already did a lap somewhere. I'm still waiting for Melody to do a lap. We've got like 7 minutes to go. Not sure how much that is true. Is Melody going to do his lap? He's a 17.6. Not the greatest of laps from the Alpine driver. He's expecting a bit more. I think he's going to go for another lap. He's got a lot of ERS, so I think he's saved some or something. I'm not sure. He's going for second lap. He's done that pretty nicely. Got the car turned in, get on the power, nicely done. Now it's a lot. On these two corners, very tough corners these are. This one, just don't let that rear end step out from you. He's done that very nicely. A bit cautious, but definitely very clean. The chairman coming around here, he's done that very nicely. Racing lines help him guide him through that. The constant shade is unreal. Not using all the track on the entry to that corner bit, but he's done it nicely anyway. I've said nicely about 4 or 5 times this lap already. He's coming around the second left corner, get the power on as it carries its speed all the way around here now. Car in early, but make sure you run wide. Tight-ish lines run out of deployment. Towards the end of the lap, it's a 17.1. I think Melody still got some time at lap, but if Melody can try and manage that ERS a bit more, I think it could be a potential pole if he's if he gets lapping. It's really better than me, but then like I said I never really got off of the lapping. Probably about 4 or 5 tenths, something like that. Oh, this is Buffalo. Also the 0.1, 17 thousandths down on Melody. Melody's picking a yellow flags. I think he's run out of fuel. Well, unless that's fresh. Right, Melody's run out of fuel. Melody has run out of fuel, and oh, Buffalo spins out turn 4. I don't think he might have been going for another lap on those tyres. He's already used something that you actually got. So, what you're going to be doing on your tyres, on your fastest lap tyres, you don't want to be spinning on them when you've just got to do the race on them in the next few minutes. So he's going to ruin his tyres if he keeps doing that. Fresh starting his lap now on a set of soft soundboard with him. Turn 1, he's quite nicely. Turn 2, not really a corner. Turn 3, very easy to overshoot it. And then compromise turn 4, but he's done it. He's integrated it pretty nicely. See some user rear end through there. Now down into turn number 5. Turn 6, not really a corner. Turn 7, very quick. Quite difficult I found it when I first game track first came out. Turn 7, 8, always unforgiving. Turn 9 again, not really a corner as much. Will affect 10, 10 and 11. I believe it's double rounded. I'm not mistaken. Again, this corner is quite easy flat out, but in the rain yesterday was definitely sketchy going through there with the dip and then the raise. To get power into there, and he's done that pretty nicely. He's putting it out wide. That's the sort of line I was normally expecting from more drivers. Just get a bit wider, open the steering up a bit earlier, get the power on a bit earlier. He's going to run out ERS here like I always do. I had to use sometimes at my laps I had to knock my ERS down to none through some slow corners to try and save a bit of ERS just so I can get that lap time back on that last few hundreds. Or a few hundred meters of the lap. Crash goes with the 16.8. So even with that running out deployment very early on, he's got in a very, very quick lap, and I think the time is a bit glitched from my end because when I came back it was 18 minutes, which is obviously not true. I think there might be a McLaren off the circuit, but I think it's probably tied at turn 2. 2 minutes and 20 on my screen, but I'm pretty sure it's probably about a minute left. I'm not seeing anyone else really come out right now. Maldi's on the pits. All arms are just tyres. I don't know, there's a Ferrari off the track. It's Mazepin. I'll say Mazepin. He's got luckily there's no one really there to win this lap, and that is that. Yep, session is done. So it was definitely glitched on my end. I was expecting that. I was about 2 minutes glitched. And that is just qualifying done, I believe. It's just Pete left to set a lap. I think Melody might be a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest. I feel like he could have improved a lot more. He had a lot more sessions, he had a broken wing, so I think more people had a bit of mistakes faces here on the circuit. But it's a broken front wing, which I didn't get. But Pete goes P3, he's just beaten Melody, still in the second row, but he's just toppled he thinks he's part Portuguese, part Brazilian, as well as being British at the same time. Webb is the last one to finish off the session, coming to the pits. Just waits for his car to pull back in, as the AI will constantly destroy everyone else's tyres. I'm not sure that it works, but for sure I don't think they're going to be out there. And this is your grid for the very first Tier 3 Portuguese Grand Prix. And this is your grid for tonight. We have some quite good lap times here tonight. Very impressed with the lap times for Tier 3 today. First of all, got Fresh on pole position with a 16.8, and then followed by him, we've got KTM Viper in second, and Pete in third, Maldi in fourth, Risky Buffalo in fifth, Boulange in sixth, Artem in seventh, Lucas in eighth, Mizpin in ninth, Gutto in 10th. Hybrid will be outside top 10 with a new set of free set of tyres for P11, Matador P12, Pyrodol 13th. Pepper Devil's 14th, and 15th is Trickyao, who didn't even set a lap. I don't know what to click. Retry? We're going to without saving. Okay, I might sort that out, and I'll quickly have to go for 2 seconds, if you don't mind me. As we go for the formation map, Fresh leads them away. KTM Viper follow him. Meldy's expecting more. Meldy's been hyped a lot about this race, so I'm expecting a good race from him. And I think he had some personal strict rules about anyone going near him, so we'll watch out for anyone getting close to him. Walnut tyre is very important, but I think we can leave it quite later around this circuit. As the McLaren swap back around again to get in their correct positions. Much to say about during this formation lap. Strategy, mean, wow, that's not a strategy. So everyone's on mediums, from Mazepin down to Papa Devils, straight out to the softs. So I think it should be softer mediums for the top 8, but I don't think the game. Oh, the Williams is pass off. The game always going for 2 stops, but I'm pretty. It is possible to do a soft medium. In fact, it's more than possible to do a soft medium. It's just people like Maldi are gonna watch out because soft mediums is quite a bit of a stretch sometimes. And I think that 13 is probably the pit time you want to pit-ish. The speed should also go. Yeah, I think if all them want to stretch their tyres out, people with teammates, it's going to hurt their pit stops because if they have to pit one lap earlier, they're going to worry, think, oh, well, those tyres are my next tyres are going to be a bit more worn towards the end. But if they're going to pit one lap later, they've got to make sure those tyres are still not going to get absolutely undercutted. So it's a bit of a funny one really when you're using a steering strategy which is very, very stretchy on your wear. So you've got to be careful that you don't get held up behind your teammate, and you make sure you pit when you want to, but not make sure that your teammate pit the same lap. That's where the rest of the grid forms up. I'm just waiting for the. I think that's now there's a Haas, sorry. It's all white and red. Just buffalo spinning. It's 2, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Is it going to be a glitch start? It doesn't look like it. And it's lights out and away we go. Maldi's had a poor start. Maldi's had definitely a poor start by there. He's off about 2 positions. It's 3 wide. And the Haas has to pull out. Will be sandwiched. And there's Viper. Viper from second place has gone off at turn 2. And there's more collisions happening towards the back as the McLaren ghosting. And there's another McLaren ghosting as well. McLaren has got front wing damage. And Gutto's down. Papa Devils is down. I don't know what's going on. Who's lost his front wing? Somebody's lost the whole wing. And McLaren's missing some front wing. It's Lucas. Lucas hasn't got a front wing. He's the one that lost most of it. Buffalo has got past STB Maldi as the top 2 try and run away. Maldi's already got a warning. Can't be taking many of them. And that corner's going to get out so many people. It's all about staying out of trouble, and that's what half the grid has not managed to do. That's not the correct line with McLaren. It's always they all navigate down. Apart from that first couple of corners, Viper's got a penalty, but I think he's got front wing damage, and he's obviously trying to extend it a little bit. So he's struggling a bit there. He's also got no front wing as well. Fresh leads the way then. It's not at the end of lap 1. Boulange will follow him as Maldi looking to get back past Risky Buffalo, and he's made a move. What a move by the Alpine driver as he sweeps around the outside of the Haas driver. Absolutely left him for chips. I know Maldi was saying that a lot in yesterday's race, and I think it was yesterday's race. And it's just going back up to P3 after just losing it, and there's no DRS. That was purely slipstream. That was an overtake, but he's got to watch how overtake is not exactly the easiest thing to save around here. It's don't actually save quite a lot because there's not actually that many heavy braking zones around here. Most of them are quite soft braking zones. There's only really turn 1, which is not really much of a braking zone to be honest. And there's turn 3. Apart from that, there isn't really many heavy braking zones around this circuit. You don't get to save much ERS, which means you can't use as much overtake. Oh, and Fresh is out wide, and he's come back in the circuit, back in the lead. He's got a bit of a bare exit out of that, but he's the last time in overall. And Maldi and Boulange are looking to take advantage of that. Boulange, no DRS yet, still only in lap 2. Fresh will continue to lead after that mistake. Maldi showing his pace. Faster than Fresh, faster than Boulange. Fresh is really struggling. Oh, I was going to say his tyres are gone, but it's only lap 3. The tyres should be fine for another 8 laps or so. And then it's more yellow flag to McLaren. That's Gutto Gutto, I'm absolutely gutted for him. No puns intended. He's got any foot wing damage. Looked like it, but it was a bit of a close one to the barrier. Maybe a collision with his teammate, I'm not sure. That's how I checked the McLarens were side by side of each other, but I'm not sure. But as this lead can go on, bit of an necessary arrest usage there for Boulage. No reason to use it there, to be honest. The only really place you want to use an overtake around the circuit is down the main straight and towards turn 4 with the only other second DRS zone. You don't really need to use it anywhere else. Everywhere else, you're just not really maximising it. Especially out of there where Boulon's used it down the hill, you kind of like keep turning, and as you turn, you lose that speed, so which means you lose that advantage you had with the DRS you just used. So it's pointless using it around the corners, just lose that speed again as you keep going. Now you use it. DRS is enabled. Boulon has it on Fresh, as Fresh has finally managed to get more of a gap to Maldi. Maldi's looking to make a move, but he's got to really be careful. He's already down to 38%. His DRS is massive. It can mean so much. Just if you have no ERS at a certain point in the race, it can hurt you so much. Spinning accuracy will be good. You want to be defending. Not looking to make any moves. Oh, the Ferrari off. That's Pirlo. Pirlo has retired out of the last corner, and there's a safety car. So what will people do with strategies? Basically, Buffalo luckily will get out through the safety car before he gets lapped. So he'll get out some time. I wonder if anyone's going to pit. It's a bit early to say. I mean, if I was people like Maldi and Boulange, or Fresh, or even anyone to be honest on the soft, probably best to stay out and just stretch those tyres and just make the tyres last a bit longer, because just help that here, like their one-stop strategy. So if they pit onto the mediums now, or hards, the hards might be a bit too slow. I'm not sure how the hards work around here. Because I've been using much yesterday. Portugal race Monday, not this week. So I'm not sure, but I think the probably best thing to do is stay out. If they pit for mediums, they might lose to a track position. And they're going to pit again anyway. Even hards, I don't think, can make it. Fresh is pitting, and Boulange is pitting, and Maldi stays out. I don't know if Maldi stayed out because Fresh pitted, or because he didn't want to double stack. And they all go into mediums for Boulange. Fresh gone to mediums. They're all gone to mediums, it looks like. I don't know. They've got to make another stop. There's no way they're doing. How did you go past the safety car? Maldi went past the safety car. Yeah, but Fresh, he's now bound in P7, that's the only thing. Maldi's got a chance to try and pull a gap. But it's difficult to say with his strategy. But yes, they have fresh tyres, but they're going to be in so much traffic now. And Buffalo's got a 15 time penalty under the safety car. Not exactly a great time to do that. You can see him on the map, he's track extending the whole place. I don't know. I feel like what Maldi's done is still probably the better way to go, because they're not making this medium to the end. They've still got a pit, but the one advantage they do have, the people that just be onto mediums, is they will be back on the softs at the end of the race. But I don't see them doing 25, 28 laps on a set of mediums. Like, unless you both have the tyres. I don't even know why he's done that. It's a safety car, man. There's no need to purposely crash out yourself. I don't even know why he's done that, to be honest. It really baffles me. You've got a safety car. I don't see why you need to purposely crash yourself out. But yeah, I think Maldi and Trialk are probably the best choice, to be honest. But I don't know. But I think the guys that just pit onto mediums will be on softs towards the end of the race. Like I said, if they can stick close to people like Maldi and Trialk on those other sets of softs, they can then pit onto certain softs towards the end and try and capture back up. Obviously, people like Maldi and Trialk will get an undercut. Obviously, naturally, they'll be pitting earlier. They will be pitting around about 13ish. These medium runners on that pit about 20, 23, something like that. So, but then after that, to have 10 laps of trying to catch up on much faster and much softer and much grippier tyres. And it's all going to be interesting. It depends. I think a big part will be the traffic. It depends if Maldi can pull away and Trick Yelk can get past Mazepin and then try and pull away with Maldi, and the rest of the medium runners struggle on their slightly more worn tyres, and the other medium runners get held up behind them. Maybe Maldi can get more of a gap to compete onto mediums and then make the tyres go to the end. And obviously, if we make them to the end, and hopefully, by the time they pit, he's built up enough a gap so they can't catch up enough to make that alternate strategy work. It's not really too far ahead effectively for that advantage on the tyres that the other guys will be on. So if they have like a 10, if Andy has like a, let's see if there's a 10-second gap, I think that might be enough to get into the end. I'm not sure. It's all see, and safety car's still out. Safety car would have been in by now. At least our second lap. I thought it would have came in. We will have another lap on the safety car, and I think this will just be helping Trick Yelk and Maldi more. For sure, saving those softs will actually hurt these guys that I just pitted, because they want to get them running as much as possible. They want to be using those fresh tyres, but they don't want to be using them under the safety car. And it's less laps for them to take advantage of those fresh tyres. It gives them another lap to try and overtake these guys in front. So, that's it. And also, these medium runners are not going to be pitting for probably another good 15 laps or so, probably. These guys are probably pitting around lap 20. So these guys, Fresh and Boulange and Artem, and all these guys, are all going to be stuck behind Papa Devils and Matador and Hybrid. If they can't get past them for 15 laps, but knowing Matador and Papa Devils, I'm pretty sure Fresh can dispatch them pretty quickly. I know Matador and Papa Devils, obviously, are not exactly the quickest drivers in the world. They're not exactly the decent drivers, but it's Fresh and Boulange are one of the guys there. They can just easily dispatch them without any much issues. Safety car should go in this lap. Hopefully. Oh, that was close between Pete and Artem there. That was almost like one of those hit the back of you situations when you get a 5-second time penalty. Safety car is in this lap. Maldi will control the grid. I wonder if he takes any pointers off the rest of the safety cars. We've had one race to check out what sort of things you can do with the safety car. Obviously, I did one myself in Tier 2 yesterday. Second safety car, and obviously then we had, I think it was AMS Twist with the first safety car. He's going to leave it late. He slowly can be. Now he's gone it, and it's just about kept up with him. But Hybrid has definitely had a good restart. He's all in the back of Trick Yelk, but it's just without DRS, it's just nothing you can do about it. It's just sticking behind, and then he's definitely gone wide there. And that might be a possible warning. Don't want to do too many of those. It's side. Papa Devils is already losing positions. Boulange is already up into P5 and saved dispatching very quickly. Pete's got a penalty. Boulange also sticking with Fresh. This is not good for Maldi. That alternate strategy will hurt them. Hurt these guys later on, as they'll be in a slower tyre in the race. I just don't know, but the thing is, it's just so long race yet. Anything can happen. Could be another safety car. As Maldi continues to lead the way, 7/10 of Mazepin. Fresh is now at the back of Hybrid. Tyres are a bit fresher. There's not going to be a massive amount of grip right now. Those 7.5 old mediums still going to be making a lot of pace, so there shouldn't be a massive difference, but it's still going to be enough to try and get a little gap. If he can make a move, he's got so much more slip. That's just pure slipstream. There was no overtake there. Now the overtake comes in. Now he's making the move, and Hybrid doesn't seem to really attempt to really defend. Absolutely destroyed that corner. Talk about destroying corners. Boulan's just absolutely destroyed his own penalty system. And managed to get past Hybrid pretty easily. Despite how much could be much more he had. Now it's going to be difficult for them Fresh. He's still got soft runners ahead of him. Which have done quite a few laps into the safety car. So they're about 14-15 laps now. Oh! And I always do that. I always get caught out by those and always make that oh sound. And Trick Elk had his own moments and he did what I did yesterday. Get on the inside curve at 10.7 and then suddenly get a snap of oversteer from it. The difference was mine sloshed aside and cut in turn 8. I managed to get a little bit away with it. But he has lost a lot of time to the top two and now backing up to Fresh. There still is no DRS yet. DRS will be enabled after this lap, I believe. Or it might be another lap actually, I can't remember. Yeah, DRS is enabled. Maldy. Holding off P1 right now, still 7/10. No, Maldy's gone! Maldy span! And he span out of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Maldy, I was waiting for his spin. I was waiting for it. It's going to happen at some point. And he's absolutely burnt out those softs and he's dropped down to P9. And he's got to hope now for the Mercedes car and he's going to be absolutely fuming. How would you spin with traction control? Always baffles me. And he's down to P9 and he's on one soft start, probably hot. And there's after dispatches Lucas. Lucas is looking to get back past him. I don't know anymore. I really don't know. I feel like me and Maldy are very similar in terms of our look. There isn't actually. But I think my spin yesterday had a bit more of a reason behind it with the ghost. But I think Maldy, he just completely lost it in himself. Now, Fresh, even after that pit stop, he's already back up into P3. He was down in like P7. He's dispatched everyone quite quickly. He's now got DRS on Trick Out. Trick Out is using his overtake, but I'm not sure why, because he's going to be overtaken anyway. And he's going to be pitting soon, and he's not got DRS, and he's just wasting his DRS. So, last pit has a 2-second gap to Trick Out. Noddy then grabs the 30-second time penalty. The mistake comes with mistakes, comes with penalties, and Fresh sticks one up the inside. I'll trick down to take P2. Those softs are just starting to go off now. Despite 3 laps into the safety car, they've still done 7 laps on fast running, which is still enough to wear them out considerably. They're going to do about 13 laps before they really start to wear out completely. Everyone's looking to go overtake him next, but I think Trick Out could be trying to stick with Fresh for now. Different lines they're taking. Different preferences and lines through there. You can do multiple different lines. Some of them are slightly quicker than others, but some people prefer it than others. It's just not close enough. I can move on Trick Out this lap. But it's not like Trick Out's really falling away from Fresh. It's not like Boulan's is really falling away from Fresh. Oh, Trick Out's going to make a move on Fresh, and he's pushed Fresh off the track. He's retaken 2nd place. I was not expecting that. DRS and Slipstream. Fresh couldn't pull a gap, and now Fresh has got using that extra grip of those mediums to try and repass Trick Out. Trick Out's got no. It's actually got quite a bit left. He's trying to defend it. Fresh is going to stick on the inside, no. Boulan's getting oh so close to the Alpine driver. It's just so difficult to try and get past around it. And Fresh might just hit the back of Trick Out there. Is there any damage to that Alpine? I don't know about it visually, but that definitely was a touch. It's definitely to be aware of. Doesn't seem like he's got away with it. Very close there. Fresh doesn't want to be doing that again. I think Fresh might have braked himself and then tried to go a bit more to the inside, try and avoid him. And after in the corner comes in, so naturally, Pjork then turned into his path. Obviously, unintentionally. Fresh now have Pjork on his tiptoes to trick out Pit. Unsurprisingly, but that time to pit Maldi. I wonder if he's going to be pitting as well. Maldi's going to set up another lap. Look like he's going to try and re-overtake Hybrid. Hybrid's a bit low on the RS, but not quite low enough to be deployment. Maldi breezes past him, but those softs are going to be going off. And that's another track end for Maldi. That's another warning to his name. He needs to make some sort of come-up move as we've got Fresh. Oh! Okay. I missed that. Fresh is now behind Boulange. Artem is now up there. So Boulange somehow got past Fresh, despite Fresh should have had DRS on Trialk. He's gone to hards. What has he gone to hards for? Why? Obviously you want to go on mediums. Mediums can do about 21 laps, 22 laps. I don't know why he's gone to hards for. Mauri continues for a couple more laps. He decides he thinks he's probably going to go to the mediums. Fresh likes that tight line. Exit. Early on traction. Boulange. Under threat now. Oh my gosh, you almost think you were going to the pits then. I think Fresh was not expecting it. And Boulange is using all of his overtake. He's got to sweep back to the outside, but he's going to really put off his line. He's kept him nicely on the track though, despite a really unorthodox entry, which will really put him off, you think. Fresh taking a bit of a tighter line, trying to open up turn 3, but Boulange opens it up nicely. Tight line to turn 3 into turn 4. Weaving all over to really try and defend his Artem. He's having to watch on. He follows his fellow Russian behind. It's currently a Russian 1-3-4. Right, continues as Fresh got a brilliant traction, and he just completely outdone him on traction there, and Boulange had nothing to answer for. How did he get so much traction out there? Like, it's not like he had to go alongside him or something, he just breezed past him. That was insane, how he managed to do that. Absolutely just had no mercy on traction. Nothing much happening really further back. We've got Hybrids trying to defend him, because Hybrids just dropping like a fly. I was safe on high now. He didn't piss it yet, and he's behind. He didn't seem to do anything. Continuing on, Maldi comes into the pits, or he's one in the pit stop. Viper sets the battles up of the race as we return back up to P7. So even pace. Oh, the clinch is happening! It's Artem and Boulange. Artem is trying to get past him, and I think Artem's really trying to help Fresh it. A few Russians, and there's more contact as well down the straight, and that's a terrible camera angle. We can't see anything. Side by side, squeezing him out, and and Pete almost got caught into the back of that battle there. As Boulange pushes Artem, he got caught out by that, and then he ended up being a catastrophic crash. Now Boulange just messed up that traction again. Now another Russian fires past him. We've got another flying Russian. Just goes breezing past him at that exact same corner and exit, and he's looking for a gear rig and exit. But Boulange took a very tight line. Lost it to a very wide line. Oh! Pete, that was not nice at all. He hit the back of Artem. Boulange might have hit him as well in the case of that. I'm not sure. Was there any damage to either car? It doesn't look like any of them pitting, and Pete's definitely coming in after that. That was a hefty move. I'm not sure why he was thinking there. Even if he did get the move done on Boulange, he would not have made it past cleanly on Artem. Because it would have just crashed into the side of him. Unless it's the other way around, it might have been Artem behind Boulange at that point, I'm not sure. Either way, he would have definitely hit the car ahead, regardless of what he gave you was going to happen. Sort of move you want to do when there's only just one person ahead of you, not two. And Pete's gone to another set of mediums. And why has he done that? Because he's going to have to pit again. He has to pit again because he's just been on the same mediums. I don't think he knows that. I don't think does he know the rule. He has to use 2 flat tyres in a race. I don't know. I'm lost. I don't know why. I think he's gone. I don't want to be on hards, so he thought I'll go on mediums because that's the better tyre, and I don't want to go softs because obviously softs can't make it. And he realised you're disqualified if you don't use either of those 2 tyres. So, well, let's use one tyre to go into intermediates for 1 lap. There's no point in doing that. I've just gone to fair hards. Let's get that rule. Mazepin has got a nice lead. He's pitted very early onto very early. I think he's going for the hards here, which I'm not exactly thinking is the best strategy, to be honest. Yeah, a set of hards. I don't know why he's gone. So I don't know if this is a weird strategy. It says it's quite clearly a soft to medium strategy. And he's done the complete opposite of that. How Maudi's doing? He's 30 seconds, but he's actually just going down now. That gap is. Gap's going down a bit. He's about 6 seconds off Mazepin. So it looks like all that Maudi's about. Let's put on the leader to see what sort of gap. Maudi's about 9 seconds behind Mazepin. So he was ahead of him when he had the spin by about half a second. So he's lost about 9.5 seconds to 10 seconds after that spin. Yeah. Oh, Mazepin's going hard. So. But I think that Maldi is going to be, that's his target, is to trying to catch back up to Mazepin, but that's a very hefty ask for the Alpine driver. Now it's just opened up a little bit now, it's just, everything's calmed down now. Pebble sector for Maldi, not sure how powerful that actually is. I'll back quickly out, those hards are just not working. And I wonder if Mazepin's going to have the same issue. US Open for Maldi. Kick-out's not really defending it. Maldi's having the US Open having quite slow line speed, I feel like. And Kick-out's looking to make past him. No, it's not going to work, is it? That's really struggling on those hards. But no grip because mediums just absolutely destroy him out of that corner. And then I'm going to try and catch up to. And it's just caught up about a second that lap. So his mediums are working very nicely. I think Maldi might be still trying on this. He's still a pit up behind everyone now, that's the thing. I say targeting the podium, but he's going to be a pit up behind and everyone's going to be affected. So if there's no safety car, Maldi, I think a podium's not even this round here. And Gusto's pitted really early off the medium. For 12 laps, he's already pitting for another set of softs. That is a very ambitious move onto a set of soft, very aggressive. I think he only did 12, 13 laps in those mediums, so I'm a bit confused by that one. Not sure why Gutto kept going for another, I don't know, 4 laps or so, then pitted onto soft. And it really has died down now. This race is just kind of really died down. But we need another safety car to liven this race up. Like it's. I know you can have this be slipstream trains, but I'd rather have a slipstream train than this. It's just everyone's gapped out by like a couple of seconds or more. Piper having a good comeback race after his done. Was after his lower minutes earlier on. to continue going. These medium lows will keep on going. They'll be looking to pit in the next couple of laps, I would say. Lap 22, 21 seems like a good point to pit for softs, maybe. Let me say quick on those softs. So, on softs, they probably will be possible to get to the end, but it'll be very, very sketchy how long they can go. You probably just went on to the softs as earliest point as possible to get as much time as possible. Artem made a mistake there, it looked like. Well, I just gained about the same amount as possible, another 2 seconds. Good exit by Artem there, damn. Oh, that's about the leader, isn't it? So, no one's in DRS of each other right now, not a single person. Everybody's out of the DRS. Viper's the closest. I was saying that, Gotto. Absolute catch and trail coming up for us, and people getting penalties for days. Oh my days. This is about 3 penalties popped up there, I swear. Look how much more grip he has. Unbelievable how much more grip the softs have compared to those mediums. I mean, the hard's only 6 laps hard, but look how much more grip he has. You forget how quick those softs can be. Now, Gutto should be an easy move. He's got no RS, that's the thing, he's used it all up. He's used it all up trying to catch him up, when he's going to catch him anyway. Even though he had DRS, he's barely going to overtake him. He hasn't got the DRS left. Luckily, he's got some decent straight line speed. Will it be an easy move? I don't think it will. Oh, it was going to happen! It was going to happen at some point. Oh, and Chialki's round as well. And then both of them are out. Both of them have been spun out. It was going to happen. That was some Max Verstappen Stroll stuff, that was. It's just going to happen. He just cut in. The Gotto on the inside. Trigger went back around the outside. Cut him off and both of them span. And that's done some big thing that's really helped people out, like Maldi and Viper, really helped them out. Good to see. Viper's one of those sort of featherweight sort of leaders, so we'll see what the gap is. Maldi, I wonder why he's not that gap. The race will continue. Freelander's got another penalty. His last penalty's coming in now. Oh, that's a very strange curve that was, Artem. Got to end up being the bigger loss out of the two, although they both lost a lot already. Got to 5 seconds behind Trek again. After that clash, we have one battle, and that's what happens. We have literally 2 people within each other, and the only battle on track has to have to go in fireworks. Luckily, neither of them got damaged, it was wheel-to-wheel contact. But I'm not really catching up to Trigger as much as I thought he would now. Maldi's got that gap down, Mazepin down to 5.2. Maldi's got some decent pace here. He's slowly catching up to Mazepin, but I'm not sure if he's going to do it. Those mediums will start to go off. Those hards will start kicking in a little bit later on in the race. So those mediums do fall off towards the end. Maldi is catching him up right now, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, to be honest. The old to throw, we've got Artem and Lucas in the pit. Artem's got front wing change, so Artem was running with a front wing damage that whole race, so that's going to help all the people around him. There's more penalties being dished out here. As they all fall down, it promotes Mazepin and Maldi into P3 and P4. It's just Boulange needs to pit yet, and Fresh also. Boulange just doesn't quite have the pace of Fresh, unfortunately. Fresh has built a snarly 6.5 gap to him. I think Fresh has got another big enough gap to come out ahead of Maldi. Maybe not Mazepin, I don't know. Depends on if it's about 20, say about 22, 23 seconds. Maybe just come out ahead of Maldi when he pits. Which I'm expecting to be, well, honestly I was expecting to pit that lap, to be honest. It's getting a little cloudy though. It is getting a bit cloudy. I'm not sure if there's going to be any rain though. I don't hear any rain coming in from earlier sources. Melody is still catching slowly on Mazepin. Viper will also doing the same on him on those fresh softs. So kind of that's slowly coming together, but is it a rather large gap? Brillange lost about 4/10 of freshest lap. Just seems to be about half a second slower lap for Brillange does for fresh. It's quite a lot, to be honest. It's got cloudy very quickly here. Is there going to be any rain towards the race? Is this why everyone going for? Is this why Gutto went early on to set softs? I don't know. Everyone else gone to set softs now, and it's just got really cloudy. Oh, what? Yep, I saw that from miles away. Hybrid's getting a penalty there. Went wide. It's got so dark so quickly. It just feels like it's going to rain. Fresh has fitted onto set softs. Tells me more and more that it's not going to rain. It's really going to fit now. Where Fresh comes out, it's going to be ahead or behind Maldi. It looks like it's going to be behind. So Maldi's back onto the podium positions, but not for very long. Oh, she's very, very close. Maldi's just sweep through, but I don't think Maldi's going to hold up for very long. But Maldi just has, I think he's got one penalty so far, I'm not sure. Right behind him on the fresh set of softs, so that ultimate strategy ended up paying off. And Maldi's actually in the dark there. I mean, Maldi, if Maldi didn't have that spin, I think Maldi would have been probably about 10 seconds up more. I think Maldi would have been where Boulange is right now. Maybe a little bit further behind, but around that sort of range. Maybe just a few seconds behind Boulange. I think that's where Maldi would have been right now. That's how much that spin's hurt Maldi. Maldi could have been running away with at least guaranteed P2, P3 at this rate, but now he's having to really fight out for the last podium position. And there's a spin. Artem had a bit of a mistake, I think. Not being a good last few laps from Artem, I don't think, with the front wing change and a bit of a mistake. Pete's got to pit again. He has to pit again. He's only done two sets of mediums. Unless he's done, I don't even know anymore. Pete. Oh, he's on softs. He must have pitted under the first lap or something. Because I had not seen him on a set of softs. I just remember seeing him on mediums for like this many laps as the race went. So Pete was on a set of softs at the start, so that's my mistake. Pete will go to the end then. And Fresh is now at the back of Maldi. Maldi, I'm pretty sure, wants to defend this as hard as he can, but at the same time, he's just going to lose time to Mazepin. I don't think he's going to really catch up to Mazepin. Maldi's really getting low near us now. Fresh is all at the back of it. Maldi, if he does get an overtake, he needs at least hope he doesn't lose too much time from it. Fresh has got so much more grip right now. Maldi's holding off nicely. But Maldi, I think, will probably lose position this lap. And now Fresh goes to the move on Maldi. Maldi's got nothing, absolutely nothing to ask for. And Maldi now will have to tie a rope on the back of Fresh now and try and hang on to the back of him, use him as leverage on Mazepin. Or Mini Maldi can use now Fresh as a bit of an anchor. Actually, not an anchor, a bit of a tug and pull sort of situation. try and get Maldi to catch up to Mazepin, which I think is a bit late, to be honest. I mean, 4 seconds, bit of a task for Maldi. Maldi needs to stay within DRS and Fresh here if he wants to get a chance to try and catch a bit more. And there's Papa Devils about to get lapped. Papa Devils is going to get lapped. That's a statement right there, and that's purely on pace as well. DRS open from Maldi's Fresh 6 and lap of the race. Maldi's past Harbour Devils, which should be absolutely crucial. And DRS open him, he's really got help by DRS here to keep within Fresh, but I think Fresh might dispatch him this lap. Fresh will have the pace. Away. And Hyperbus is qualified from the session for receiving multiple penalties. I've never seen that in a league race before. Never ever seen somebody get so many penalties to the point where they got disqualified. That's a complete new thing for me. I've got short-term memory, but even I know that I've never seen a penalty like before in the league race. No penalty qualification, isn't it? Maldi looks like he might just be out of DRS here on Fresh, unfortunately. Still using a bit of slipstream, but unfortunately that's all you're going to get, Maldi. Use as much overtake as you want, you're not going to get it. He's using too much overtake here, he's going to lose in time now, all the way down the straight. That gap now is it's all about 4 seconds to be honest. And it's a virtual safety car, and that's not good for people like Fresh and Maldi who want to catch up to Mazepin. This is going to really hurt their push towards Mazepin, and this might save Mazepin a little bit, to be honest. And it's not all about now who's going to gain much from it, and it's all just help everyone just gather up a little bit more ERS. A bit more fuel if they need to save some fuel, which I don't think they will need to because it's a safety car. I've never seen somebody get a disqualification for that big race. It's baffling. Virtual safety car starts. It's too late to pit for any time now. Matador pits, I think, probably go fastest lap. He's not going to lose position to Papa Devils. Papa Devils is 33 seconds behind. Yeah. As pin those hard, slowly going to crawl back in at some point. Pete's got a drive through. That is absolutely commiserations for the Williams driver. He's spent on the safety car, and he's not going to be happy with that. And he's just going to drive himself. And Maldi's got another penalty, and that's going to hurt him. And that's Maldi. I think that's his podium chances done now. That's Maldi's pet podium out, gone, and done. And he's had a very poor restart as well. Add on to that, he's already lost 2 seconds to Fresh. So yes, that's podium gone. Boulange has been on those tyres for 24 laps. He's going to be struggling so much now on those tyres, surely. 24 laps. And all that was literally, that's all on pace. That's mad if he does what he's going to be doing. 27 laps when it comes to the end of this. Or 26, 27 laps. His tyres are going to be destroyed. It's looking pretty decent. It's not like he's struggling or anything. Might be quite slow. on those warm tyres, but he doesn't look like he's struggling or anything though. He's just keeping it nicely, and this is actually from being behind Fresh by about 6.5 seconds, 7 seconds. He's now leading by with about a 10-second gap and looking to get the win because he did not go for the extra pit stop. Was that extra pit stop really necessary? It was a 2-stop, just that much slower. Looking nice. I'm not sure how many penalties he's got, but he's looking getting wide there as well. He's just set a personal best sector 2 though, on tyres that have done 25, 26 laps. He's struggling, but he's still got some decent pace in those tyres. And Maldi's Maldi's struggling now. His tyres are actually old, but he's lost a good 1.5 seconds to Mazepin during this period of time. Maldi's quite hard down the course. Why did he just lose his DRS halfway down the straight? I don't know. Yeah, now it's just a point now where there's nothing much happening. I think it's all about penalties now. It's all about penalties. I've seen a lot of penalties this race. It's going to make a massive effect on this race. Gotto's gone. See, exactly. Pretty good point. There's another penalty for Gotto. I think this is like 5th one or something in this race, to be honest. He's nearly probably like at least 4 or 5 times now. I have seen a few penalties from him. I haven't seen many penalties from Mazepin now. Lucas hasn't got a single penalty, but he's like 12 seconds behind the next car. So even though he's got no penalties, he's not going to gain anything from it. I'd be surprised if he gains anything from it. I don't think anyone will have more than 15 seconds of penalties. But now he's really struggling now. I think that's more to do mentally. Mentally? That physical, yeah. Like more. I can't remember the word now. Psychological than actual raw pace. I think Maldi might be a bit hurting, to be honest. In his mind, I think he's a bit hurting, and it really does. If you have a mistake or you've had a spin, and then you get a bit irritated, a bit bummed down from it, you do start getting consistent and making mistakes, and I think that's what Maldi's having a bit of a problem now. Because I think he's probably going slower than Boulange, and Boulange is on 10 lap older mediums. Boulange has been on his tyres since lap number 4, and Boulange is still doing low 20s, or Maldi is still doing. He's doing high 19s, so about 10 laps younger tyres, and they're only doing about half a second slower. So that's actually pretty impressive for Boulange, to be honest. Only half a second slower than the next medium runner, which is 10 laps younger, and only being half a second slower. And Boulange will cross the line in P1 though. This is the last lap of the race. Where he would go in terms of penalties, I've seen a few penalties from him lately, and he crosses the line for P1. What will Mazepin be? Mazepin will not take the lead. Fresh will have to settle for P3. Maldi will have settled for P4, but will Katie and Viper have any more penalties or not? I think that might be the positions they're in. Yep, Katie and Viper have 2 penalties in the end. Artem very far behind. He'll have to finish in the P6 with the front wing change. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. He does get Viper by 7/10 though, so he does get that P5, so at least something a little happy about. Lucas, he has no penalties, but he's too far behind. He had no front wing at the start, and it's hurting his whole race. And he crosses the line, P7. But still, and that's it. I think it's just Gotto. And Gotto does not have a front wing. Or he's just understanding like absolute madman. He's on 13 lap old soft, so he shouldn't. He doesn't even go to the end. That's him done. And that is your tier 3 race. Personally, I think that was probably one of the most deadest races of the season, and I don't think Marley's going to be happy with that. with that statement, but I don't think it's far from those truth. To be honest, it was not. It was a few pieces of action at the start, here and there, but then everyone just got separated around lap 20, and it's just there was no battles, and it was just all about seeing who could get the better tyres. But Boulan's did such a good job though. 28 laps on those tyres, and only about 2 or 3 laps of those laps were on in the safety car. So he's done about 25 laps of fast running, and did not pit, and another 2 laps of no safety car, 3 laps of safety car. He's done the 28 laps on those tyres. That is absolutely insane. Let's have a look again. Yeah, pit lap 5, so from lap 6 onwards. So yeah, he's done 27 laps on those tyres. That's insane. And he got him in the win. He had a few penalties in the end. One more penalty than Mazepin fresh, but it's surprised how many you keep the lead so much. I was expecting a bit more, but I think the first safety car definitely helps him in the end. Mazepin will be P2, Fresh P3, Melody will be P4, R10 P5, Viper P6, Lucas will be P7, Gosso will be P8, and Massel will be P9, Red Pad will be P10, and your retirements are Pete, Trickyard, Hybrid, basically Buffalo, and Pyridon. And Hybrid's got disqualified for having 30 seconds of penalties. And that is your race tonight. Please come back for us, obviously, next week. We will be going down to the circuit, Autodromo. I don't even know what it is called, I don't know, but it's Monza. I believe it is Monza and Imola next for all 3 tiers. So, I believe, if that is the case, which it is, yes it is. That is the case. So we'll come back for us for Italy for the next 2 tracks of Monza and Imola for the next 2 weeks in all 3 tiers, and we'll be looking to see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.